to keep one thing in mind. During the crack epidemic, there were many people that got life sentences for crack. Okay, crack. And these weren't all dealers. Many of these people are still sitting in jail that were just drug users. But look at what Oregon did. This is how determined they are to keep these people that are on these drugs now that they're claiming is a public health issue out of jail. Oregon makes drug possession a misdemeanor. Sure as hell wasn't a misdemeanor when it came down to crack. A bill signed by Oregon Governor Kate Brown on Tuesday makes personal use possession of cocaine, heroin, methamphetamines, and other drugs a misdemeanor, not a felony. See, what they're trying to do is decriminalize these drugs. That's the direction that this is going in, ladies and gentlemen, because they don't want to lock up their own. If they had to lock people up, that means whites in this country, because they're your heaviest drug, heroin, opioid, fentanyl, meth, cocaine users, they would have to mass incarcerate them. So they're doing everything they can to avoid doing this, even if it means decriminalizing drugs in America and letting them just continue to run amok out here. Oregon joined just a handful of other U.S. states in defelonizing drugs under the new law, which was supported by law enforcement groups, and the effect takes effect immediately. Joe Mesa, owner of Amazing Treatment, a rehab center in Salem, applauded the move. She has seen the damage caused by drug addiction in her 30 years in the field. There's a huge crisis out there, and locking people up is not going to work, Mesa said. Well, it sure worked during the crack epidemic, didn't it? This is why you're not getting all the sympathy that you're looking for. You're not going to get it. Okay, it's one set of rules for Black people, another set of rules for white people when it comes down to drug addiction. Black people still go to jail for drug addiction. It's not looked at as misdemeanor anywhere. Even states where they have legalized marijuana, Black people are still going to jail. Looking to kick their addictions, patients ascend a flight of stairs into Amazing Treatment, located above a Mexican restaurant and a barber shop in downtown Salem. Inside the center, someone had drawn a syringe on a whiteboard with the words "No more." Above that was a quote by philosopher Friedrich Nietzsche. Okay. Many are stubborn in pursuit of the path they've chosen, few in the pursuit of the goal. Mesa said imprisoning first-time offenders with limited or non-existent treatment opportunities is not the solution. That's amazing. Where was Mesa back during the crack epidemic? Where were the people like her? But the goal can be achieved with treatment for 6 months to a year, with support from recovering addicts and training in how to remove oneself from the environment that led to the drug abuse, like a circle of addicted friends or relatives, she said. Jailing is not helping the problem. Well, it's sure helping the problem when it came down to Black people. And if you really were sincere about that, then why are the people from the crack epidemic still sitting in prison? Many of them are still in jail. Now, Obama did get some of them out, but it still didn't go far enough. There's still way too many sitting in there. All you're doing is putting a Band-Aid on it. and ripped it off when they get out of jail. Among the bill's supporters were the Oregon Association Chief of Police and the Oregon State Sheriff's Association, which said felony convictions include unintended consequences, including barriers to housing and employment. Gee, don't you think that also applies to Black people too? Just saying. But the two groups, in a letter to a state senator who backed the bill, said the new law will only produce positive results if additional drug treatment resources accompany this in policy change. So, I'm going to leave the link to this article in the description box, but I just want you to see how far they will go to make sure many of these white drug addicts do not end up with felonies that will be on their record for the rest of their lives. So they're just classifying people that are in possession of drugs as a misdemeanor. And remember, it's more states than Oregon that's doing this. And you can best believe there'll be more cropping up in the future because they don't want to mass incarcerate their own. Okay, so if it means defelonizing and then eventually legalizing these drugs, then so be it. But no matter what these law outcomes are, it's not going to keep Black people out of jail. They're going to still incarcerate Black folks on drug possession. Okay, we already heard this from the Justice Department trying to go after weed users. Please leave your comment and subscribe. And if you can donate to my channel, please do. And I will leave the link to this article in the description box. Peace, family.